Hey guys, it's JW, and I'm at the middle school, and I'll be getting out of my car in about 10 minutes, but I got some time, so might as well jump on. Nothing important to talk about, but you'll notice my face is a little bit flushed. I just, about 2 hours ago, I took my niacin, and I mentioned niacin in one of the videos I did recently, but niacin is a really wonderful, it's a wonderful nutritional product, at least from my perspective it is. It's not only does it get the blood moving, and I mean it gets the blood moving really well, but it's kind of an alert if something's going wrong in your arteries, blockages of any kind. And let's face it, most people, as they get older, develop issues with their blood, whether it be blood clots or blockages of some kind, or they're feeling tired all the time, and they might be getting tingling in their feet or their hands or fingers or toes. That's all due usually to poor circulation. It could also be neuropathy, which I thought I had neuropathy. I had all the classic symptoms of neuropathy, and I probably did have it at the time. That was shortly after I had my melanoma operation on my ankle area, the wound that I spoke about in many videos. If you go back to last March, April, you'll notice I started doing those types of videos. I thought it would be educational and helpful to someone who may have gone through or may someday go through a type of surgery that I went through, where it's the wound was so deep that the surgeon had no choice but to, go in as deep as he could. In doing so, scraping out and getting rid of the cancer, they touched the nerve. It's a very touchy subject, speaking of touching the nerve, because if you bring it up to the doctor, he'll say, I didn't hit the nerve. But there's no question that I had nerve damage of some sort because of the symptoms. My symptoms were classic neuropathy, pins and needles, stinging, burning, tingling, and in my case, my thighs and the back of my knees in the calf area, it just got horribly itchy. I think it was hives maybe that was caused from all that was going on. And anyway, at the time, I thought, I did a deep search on neuropathy because I knew I had the symptoms, and one of the nurses at the wound center I went to was kind enough to pull some information down on what's called peripheral neuropathy, and she pulled that down from the Mayo Clinic and gave it to me and said, my husband has neuropathy, and you're telling me these symptoms, and I think maybe this information would be helpful to you. And it was. The only problem is, like all information with A-type personalities like myself, I tend to go down the rabbit hole pretty deep. And I was convinced after doing the research that I was probably going to have to live with neuropathy, for the rest of my life, because most of the information I found, there was probably an 80% chance that if you develop neuropathy, you will have it in some form or another, forever. There's really no cure for it. I mean, you can They have surgical interventions for it that has been successful for some, and not for others. And they do some sort of has something to do with the disc, not in your back, but I don't know. I knew I wasn't up for medical intervention, so a surgical intervention. So I didn't really go into it that deep. But and then there's all kinds of natural products you can take. And then there was one pharmaceutical that apparently had a very high success rate. The problem is, in addition to having horrible side effects, potential side effects, and I mean really horrible. I believe one of them was leprosy, it said. I could be mistaken on that, but when I saw that, I said, I'm going to pass on that. Now, I know the chances of developing some of those side effects is, 1,000,000 to 1 or whatever, but I just don't like, not only don't I like taking pharmaceuticals, I don't take any pharmaceuticals, and if I can help it, other than saving my life, I would never take any of them, especially in light of what's come out. If you if you follow some of the non-traditional doctors, naturopathic doctors, and herbalists, and very well-respected doctors, and in some cases very well-respected traditional doctors, allopathic medicine doctors. They believe that the use of pharmaceuticals has gotten out of hand, and I believe, and many of them believe, that doctors are prescribing the medication for reasons other than the patient's health. Let me put it that way. If you ever go in a doctor's office at noontime, you'll probably see a pharmaceutical salesman in there with a spread for the office food. Really a good layout buffet. And hey, listen, I don't deprive people in the office, especially the workers, of getting something like that. But it's the reason the pharmaceutical companies do that, and it's a smart move. The salespeople do that is they need to get by the gatekeepers, and the people, the clerks, the receptionists, are the gatekeepers. And if you can't get by them, you don't get to see the doctor who is going to hopefully, if you're a pharmaceutical salesperson, hopefully prescribe your medication, and that's how they make their money. They get really, really good commissions if they put out enough product in the different doctors. So the whole thing, to say it's shady would be an understatement, okay? And I recently saw a movie which was based on a true story on, I think it was on Hulu, and I wish I could remember the name of it. It was Michael Keaton was in it, and it was, oh darn, it'll come to me at some point. And if it doesn't, I will put it in the comments when I upload the video later. And I think you'll have a different perspective of. I know you're probably aware that pharmaceuticals can be a little shady, but I wasn't even aware to the point that this movie enlightened me quite a bit, and it's pretty scary stuff, folks. So I'm very careful of using that. So whenever I can, I use things that I believe can do the trick for me. And niacin, and one other thing I use is cayenne pepper. They're great for thinning your blood if your blood needs some thinning. Or niacin in particular you'll feel it immediately. You get what's known as the niacin flush, which feels like a bad sunburn. And the blood just rushes through your body. Your whole body will feel like you've been out in the sun for too long. And it's a bit of an uncomfortable feeling. Some people find it invigorating, and I'm starting to find it invigorating. I don't like the part where it's a little bit itchy for maybe half an hour, and you feel like you kind of, like I say, have a bad sunburn for about a half an hour or so. But that is telling you that the blood is, in fact, rushing through your arteries. And I explained this in one of my other previous videos, that if you're not getting the flush, you should be concerned. And you should, in my opinion, go to the emergency room, because you probably have some sort of blockage. So the flush is telling you that you're healthy, that blood is flowing properly, and any kind of minor blockages you have, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm just going on research that I've done. And if you're getting that real heavy-duty niacin rush, it's probably, even if you have some minor blockages, it's that blood flow is probably pushing anything that could be a problem out. It's pushing it through, so it's clearing the arteries. And again, I'm not a doctor, and this is not about me giving medical advice of any sort. I'm just telling you what I do and I've done, and I stay pretty healthy. I'll be touching base on some of the things I use. I'll probably start that this week, and hopefully they can be helpful to you. Especially, I'm an old timer, so from a senior citizen perspective, especially, it might be helpful. And let's end this here, and I'll be back to talk to you soon about some more nutritional products that I use and I find helpful. Anyway, always good talking to you folks. Take care and have a wonderful day.